Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ball and All with Shah. I know I am slightly earlier, but I was just too excited for this show. So excited for this one. This is a new segment that I have planned, and as you can tell, it is all things Rochdale AFC. Let's talk Rochdale, and we shall be talking Rochdale. We shall. I'm honestly just so buzzing after yesterday. But first and foremost, how is everybody? Hope you all have had a lovely weekend, by the way. Hope it's been good for your football teams too. I know there has been a lot of football going on. I've actually done well in FPL too, which I am so shocked about. Like at this point, I don't know what to do. I had Cunha. I'm playing my uncle, by the way, in the FPL head-to-head league in the fantasy. I know he does watch this as well. So I do apologise to my uncle Jeff if he is watching. But I'm pretty sure, if calculations are right, but I did fail maths, so do not quote me. But I may have won because Cunha came on and got that goal. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping and I am praying. But we do have Graham in the chat. Hello. Hope you're okay, Graham. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. And he's also put great result today for our women. Don't want to talk about Saturday though. Good thing is though, Graham, you don't have to talk about Saturday because this is all things Rochdale AFC. And anybody who is in the chat, if you do want to send me any questions, if you do want to interact in any way, shape, or form to talk about Rochdale, if there's something you want to know, then please feel free to do that. But yeah, I am going to make a start on this show because wow, another good win. I know it was against Truro, but to be honest, at the start of the season, we did make it quite difficult. They did make it difficult, sorry, at their place for us. We only beat them for 1-0. And it was a completely different game, to be honest, yesterday. We had so many chances. We did beat them 2-0, thanks to these two guys, either side of me in the thumbnail. Tyler Smith scoring within the first 3 minutes, which was just brilliant. Like, Tyler Smith is one of them players where you are used to him being up and down the football pyramid. He has cut it at all levels from the championship. I think it was Hull he was at. From the championship, obviously he's been at Swindon. He has been as well at Barrow scoring goals, Rochdale, and he's one of them players who is such a goal threat. He links up so well, especially with Ian Henderson. Yesterday, their link-up play was so good. He's an exciting player. He really does trouble defenders. And yeah, I don't know if anybody has seen a goal. If you haven't, please check it out on our Twitter because the build-up play towards it was just incredible, especially so early into the game as well. But yeah, it was a really good goal from him. And then Ian Henderson, we did get a penalty. Ian Henderson did miss a penalty on his birthday, which we were all really gutted about because someone like Ian Henderson, you always want him to score. He is the goal of Rochdale AFC. He is my goal. Honestly, just an incredible player. He did miss the penalty, which isn't really like Hendo, but of course, he was always going to score. He's one of them players. If it doesn't go his way, he always wants to correct his mistakes. And Ian Henderson really did. Yet again, Tyler Smith and Ian Henderson linking up really well to create the goal. So both of them yesterday did get a goal, did get an assist. But really sad because in the first half after the Henderson goal, Tyler Smith did go off with an injury, which I'm absolutely gutted about because he seemed to be really finding his form. He's been unlucky with injuries in the past throughout his career. And obviously, he's had an injury previously at Dale this season. Obviously came back, shown glimpses again, scoring goals. I think it's 5 now he's got this season. So really, really good for him. But he did end up going off injured. Conor McBride replacing him. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it wasn't too bad of an injury because he really, really is another option for us. We've obviously got Ian Henderson, you've got your Tyler Smiths, Devante Rodney, you can't write off. Manny Desirue as well. It was so good to see him back. He did come on. I will talk about him a little bit more later. Obviously, got Manny Duka as well. And you've got the likes of Adi Barlow, Conor McBride, Jake Berger, and even Ryan East. If you play him further forward, he does give you that other attacking option. Before I do go into it as well, I will get back to the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, by the way, for getting involved. I do appreciate it. And you know what? It's lovely to see so many people in the chat who aren't Dale fans who are getting involved in the conversation. So thank you so much. Hope you're all okay. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. Hope your teams did okay. If they didn't win, hopefully they do either midweek or the weekend. But yes, thank you so much for your support. Graham, I'm here to learn all about Dale tonight. Oh, honestly, if anybody does have any questions as well, I will get to them. I'll just do some talking and stuff about the game. I didn't try a pie. Did you like the pies and did you try them? Because I didn't try one. And you know what? It was a decent crowd yesterday and the queues were that long. I didn't even get a drink or anything. I was gutted. I love a halftime Snickers. Controversial because I know not many people like them, but they're one of my favorite chocolate bars. So it's like a ritual now. If I don't have a pie, I will have a Snickers. But I didn't even get any of them. Hi, Johnny. Hope you're okay. And I'm doing really, really well. Thank you. It's always good when you get 3 points, so at weekend, isn't it? And I hope you're okay. Yes, he is a goal. And can I just, it is part of obviously what I am going to talk about. But Ian Henderson, I just want to show him some appreciation because what a player, what a servant he has been for football, but also what a servant he has been for Rochdale. It was 501 appearances he's made so far. And I just think that is absolutely amazing from Ian Henderson. Top quality player. He's been at so many different teams as well. Obviously, he's been at Rochdale for a number of years. And we did end up for a little bit where he went to Salford before he did make his comeback to Rochdale. He's been at Norwich. I think he's been at Colchester too. He's been just such a great person in football. And he's such a fantastic guy as well. So what an incredible servant. And it was so lovely to see him being appreciated and recognised for everything he's done for Rochdale, but also on his birthday as well. So what an incredible player he is. And Rochdale loves him more than everyone will know. I was going to burst into song then and I thought, no, I won't. Just keeping up with the chat, everyone. But hi, Neil. Hope you're okay as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Tyrell, hope you're okay as well. I won't mention the football. Here to talk all things Rochdale, but I hope you're okay and having a lovely weekend. And thank you so much for supporting too. Like I said, it's so incredible that people are coming in supporting my Rochdale show. Oh my gosh, yes. I cannot get to this comment. What's happening to my laptop? I will talk about this lad, Callum Perry, because we do have him on loan from Coventry. And I was really concerned at one point, not because of Callum Perry, but because Sam Beckwith, who has been playing on the left side of our three at the back, he has been absolutely key, so consistent, and just a key player, not just this season, last season, but against Southend, obviously, he got that terrible injury. He's had to have surgery. He has obviously undergone surgery. Everything was successful, which is obviously absolutely brilliant, but he is apparently out for quite a long time still. But may I add, before Callum Perry came, we did have a young lad on loan called Charlie Waller, and he was really, really good. He was so consistent. He did a solid job while he was on loan for us. And then Callum Perry has come in. I think this was his second appearance for Dale. Obviously, it played against Solihull. We won 1-0. Don't know if anybody saw my watch along. Joe Pritchard got that late injury time winner. And then, obviously, Callum Perry has come in his second game at Dale, made his home debut, and he got man of the match. I have heard such good things from Coventry fans about this young lad. And from what I've seen so far, they are 100% correct. And I am just hoping, fingers crossed, because it is only a month's loan, fingers crossed we do get to keep him that little bit longer, because he looks so, so good. So cool, calm and composed on that ball. As everybody knows, we are a possession-based football team. We love having a lot of the ball. We love, obviously, passing it along the back. Sometimes it scares me. This season, it's not been as worrying, but it does still scare me. But when you've got the likes of these lads, especially someone like Callum Perry on the ball, who's just so calm, so defensively solid as well, but also drives the ball forward, I am so, so happy, and long may it continue. And like I said, Coventry, if you are listening, or Glenn, or if Simon is in the chat, or anybody involved with Coventry, if you're a fan, please, please, please put in a word, because I would love to keep him at the club for as long as possible. He's absolutely brilliant. And as I said, it was so nice to see him get man of the match too on his home debut. He was dead chuffed as well, bless him. It was really, really good to see. And he was proper getting into it with the rest of the players. Oh, thank you so much. If everybody could as well, please, if you are not watching it on YouTube, if you could go on YouTube and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on the bell notification as well, because as I always say, I am very, very impulsive. I just have random ideas and have to stream them there and then. So I never know myself when I'm going to stream. So it would be much appreciated. But thank you so, so much for that. Who else have we got in the chat? Thank you again so much, everyone, for coming in supporting. Claire, how are you? All good, I hope. Thank you so, so much. And as I said, it's so nice to see so many different football fans coming in. Wanted to know what happened at Dale. Was it bad owners? It wasn't bad owners at Rochdale Football Club, to be honest. There was a little bit of a moment at Rochdale Football Club. We've always been fan owned, you see. Obviously not now, but we have been fan owned, and it got to a point where our ex-CEO, I won't go into all the details, I won't name him and everything. If you do want to look it up, though, it probably is on the internet. But yeah, our ex-CEO, basically, he didn't have the right intentions for the football club. We were subject to a potential hostile takeover, which obviously wasn't very good. These people who wanted to take over the football club at the time, they've been involved before with Charlton, Swindon as well, and they didn't obviously have the right intentions for those two football clubs either. And basically, there was a lot happening off the football pitch to do with that. Thank God that didn't happen with the hostile takeover. And then it got to a point where Simon Gage, who is our chairman, he obviously put money into the club, and because we were fan owned, we couldn't sustain staying fan owned to survive. It was putting money into the football club, but it got to a point where he was running out of money as well. Other directors were running out of money, so we had to come to an agreement with obviously the shareholders to not be fan owned anymore. We needed a new structure, a new ownership structure, and there was an American company, I cannot remember the name now, an American company who it looked like we were going to be involved with. They were going to buy the club, but then last minute, the Ogden family obviously came in and wanted to get involved with Rochdale Football Club, local businessman, and what an amazing family and group of people, because what they have done for the football club, I know Jim McNulty has done so much on the pitch, and he should be getting the appreciation, should be getting applaudits. So should the backroom staff, so should the players, so should all the staff at Rochdale Football Club for what they've done this season. But the Ogden family have been absolutely incredible. The money they have put into developing the development centre, because as a lot of people know, our academy, once you get relegated to National League, it is only funded for one season. And then you obviously have to try and do something yourself to keep it going, or your academy can just basically fold and not be an academy anymore, which is obviously something that's really disappointing from a Rochdale point of view, because we've had a lot of academy players and academy prospects obviously go on to bigger and better things, which is absolutely amazing. So what the Ogden family have done there, we've now got our academy back, a development centre as well. So if the football club don't think individuals are quite up to scratch at that moment, they will develop them, they will look after them. It's not just, right, you're not good enough, go, and that's it. So that is really good. So that's something that is incredible from the Ogden family. Also, what they do for the whole of the community of Rochdale is essential. They do a lot more than just football. They do a lot for the community, and also the money they have pumped in to the pitch. Our pitch, we have had so many issues. If anybody knows about Rochdale AFC, if anybody knows about me being a content creator, me being a Rochdale fan, you know what's going on with our pitch. They have spent so much money on improving the pitch, and it is just amazing. So hats off to the Ogden family, and they deserve so much credit because they are just incredible, honestly, and they want to do things the right way, and they want to make Rochdale Football Club a success, not just on the football pitch, but off it too, which is obviously amazing. Amazing. We've got Dino as well. We defend like Saturday Southend. You will batter us. I will go on to the Southend game a little bit later, so don't worry. We will talk about that. Let's go through this chat. Thank you so much, everyone, by the way. Never liked Hendo as he always scored versus Cobb. Oh, you can't not like Hendo. I'm sorry. I know you probably don't from that point of view, but honestly, I'm sorry, but you've got to love Hendo. You've got to love Hendo if you're in my stream. Claire, it's from Temu. I think it was about $5.99. It was an absolute bargain, and I've got it in green, yellow, and lilac. I should have pretended it was really classy. And here's me saying, "Oh yeah, it's off Temu." I'm airing all my dirty laundry and my secrets now, aren't I? Claire as well shows how well Hendo has looked after himself. Rare anyone can still play at that age. Honestly, he has looked after himself so much physically, but he has got such a fantastic mentality, and it's just fantastic. Honestly, I absolutely idolize that man, not just for what he does on the pitch, but just for everything he does and he gets involved in. And he's one of the nicest men in football, honestly. I love Ian Henderson, as everybody knows. Oh, Claire. Jid came off the bench yesterday for us, and my date's mate, he needs more time. Looked proper good for 5 minutes. Would have changed the game if he came on early. His credit, Dale. Honestly, I was so gutted when Jid got injured because he looked absolutely fantastic, especially in National League. And he was so solid defensively, but he was always such a goal threat. And I remember he made his debut in one of the National League Cup games. He scored on his debut. And since then, he has just been one of my favourite players. I always look out for him as well. And I always say to you as well, Claire, he's such a lovely lad. For somebody so young, he's such a role model, and he does have his head screwed on. He's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Just go into the chat. I think Beckwith is the best player in the league, in my opinion. Big boots to fill, and Perry has been a very, very good stand-in. I completely agree. Sam Beckwith is absolutely fantastic. And as I mentioned, I was really, really worried what was going to happen because he's been so solid and so consistent. But also, don't know if you agree, Danny, as well, but he's so good going forward and attacking. Like, he's partial to an absolute wonder goal, isn't he, Sam Beckwith? But Perry has been fantastic in the 2 games that he has played in, and long may it continue. Please, I really hope so. Please. We've got Ryan as well. Hey, Shah, so good to see you back at it. Thank you so much. I do really, really appreciate it. I'm just getting through. Everybody, this is true. This is the guy, by the way. Nobody's familiar with him. Check him out. I will get back to yesterday's game in a second. There's just a lot of chat, so thank you so much. Glenn Cov got probably 5 defenders ahead of him currently at centre-half. I think it's a good move for everyone. Perry needs games. Rochdale get a good player, and I'm sure Cov would loan him back next season. I hope so. But honestly, like, he has been really, really good. And the way is just, I know sometimes it can take people time to adjust as well, but he is just slotted in, and it's as if he's been at the club for a very, very long time. It doesn't look out of place whatsoever. And even that first game, he really, really did fit in. I'm not getting ahead of myself, Claire. As much as I would love it, you saw what happened last season. You know I get PTSD, and I don't want to speak too soon. I think it is in our own hands because we do have 3 games in hand on York. We have 4 games in hand on other teams. But I would personally rather have points on the board, as I always say, than games in hand. Please, that picture's okay now, though. Yeah, you should. The only thing is with us, though, what I have noticed, when we do get big crowds in, that's when we seem to blow it. So the only thing is, if it does go down to the final day and we've got a chance of winning it, don't show up. Like, nobody show up, because big crowds seem to put more and more pressure on us, and that is when we hit self-destruct mode more often than not. This is so true as well. Well, the Ogden family had to pump in 2 million for us to even have a club. That is so true. And I just wanted to give them credit massively, because I know a lot of people, and they should get the credit, the players, for everything they are doing. Obviously, Jim, the staff, the management team. But without the Ogden family, we wouldn't be in this position. So massive appreciation to them. Yes. So from our academy, we've obviously had Tavares, Jamie Allen come to you guys. We've had Luke Matheson, who did go to Wolves. I know he's at Macclesfield now. We've had the likes of, obviously, Mane, who is now at Wolves. Such a frustrating situation, because he was one player we couldn't actually make money on him, because it was when our academy did end up, obviously before the Ogden family properly came in, our academy did end up like suffering because of this, and because of getting relegated to National League. We didn't have the finances back then. We didn't have the finances to obviously have options like we do now. So we had to just let him go on a free. He's obviously doing absolutely fantastic at Wolves now. We've seen him score in the Premier League, which is amazing. But just wanted to give examples of how smaller clubs do suffer when it comes to obviously the academy and dropping down to the National League if they don't have money behind them, which is really, really sad. Ethan Briley as well is another one. Went to Brentford. I know he was doing very, very well in their academy. They've loaned him out to Exeter this season. I know a lot of Exeter fans are really, really happy with Ethan Briley, how he's running their midfield and the progress obviously he's making with them. We've got Corey Edwards as well on loan at Stockport at the moment. I'm a little bit disappointed with that one as well, because he's obviously gone back on loan to Stockport now, Corey Edwards, but he's out of contract, I'm thinking off the top of my head, this summer. So I'm wondering whether he'll end up leaving us on a free, which is obviously really, really disappointing, because he was somebody I thought we would get money for if he was to obviously leave Rochdale. But who knows? But I've heard that some Stockport fans, especially when he's played in the cup games, are really, really impressed with him. So I'd love to know your thoughts, Claire, on Corey Edwards. The pitch. It was good. It was nice to not see any like big dirt patches, puddles, sand. It was nice to watch them play football and there not be loads of water there. It was nice to actually walk around the actual surroundings of the pitch, not actually on the pitch, but being a fan like in the stands and not having puddles around you as well. So far, so good. Our drainage system is working up to now, but we do have Southend on Tuesday. And how many times this game has been called off, I'm hoping, I am praying it doesn't and it holds up. We have got as well Sean. Hi, Sean. Hope you're okay. I'm doing very, very well, thank you. I hope you are. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. And yeah, no hendo, no party. That is true. Yeah, no idea. It does show that there's really good owners out there. And like I said, the thing is with the Ogden family, they don't just want it to be where we are making money from the football side of it. They want it to be making money not on the football side of it. So that is very, very good from them. We have got as well, Chris, we have a development centre from 16 years old. Sadly, we lost our academy status. So kids from 9 years old, etc., we can't take them. That's why we need to get back to the EFL. I know, obviously, recently when I'm pretty sure when Accrington, when their academy ended up in a lot of trouble, I think Rochdale actually took on some of their players too. We've obviously got the women, the young girls as well. So we are developing players, which is absolutely fantastic still. It's just a shame, obviously, that we've had to suffer at the same time with being relegated to the National League. Bear with me, everyone. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Yeah, I really, really hope so. He deserves a statue as well, by the way, this man. If this man does not get a statue, I will riot. Let's give Hendo another year so we can beat Gary Jones' record appearance maker at 531. I know I love Gary Jones as well. I don't know about you, Chris, but I absolutely loved Gary Jones. We've got Daniel as well. Hi, Shah. Hope you're well. Where are Rochdale in the league? And do you reckon you could get promotion or win the playoffs? We are second in the league at the moment. We're 1 point behind York, but we do have 3 games in hand on them and 4 games in hand on other teams. Forest Green, I think, is one of them. One of them teams we do have a game in hand upon. I think it is a possibility that we could get promotion. I would rather get promotion automatically. I know 2 only go up in our league. I don't know if you were familiar with that, Daniel. 2 only go up in our league. I would prefer to do it through automatics. I think it is in our hands, to be honest, with the games in hand that we do have. But if we do end up going through the playoffs, it would be more traumatizing, don't get me wrong. It'd be more frustrating because, like I said, for anybody in that position, we've seen it in previous seasons, like York last season. They got to the playoffs. They got so close to obviously Barnet. they was another consistent side. They had, I can't remember how many points off the top of my head now, but they absolutely smashed it. And then they ended up not getting promoted in the playoffs. It was Oldham that ended up going up through the playoffs. I think it's still so sad that only 2 actually go up from National League. There is something obviously coming into place, a 3 up, 3 down rule, where people can support it to try and obviously, hopefully, get 3 teams going up from National League, because it is just such a hard league to get promoted from. But yes, I would absolutely love it if we could go up automatically. But I would take getting playoffs as long as we can. Hopefully, fingers crossed, get out of this league. We have to. We have to. I love it. I'm a man and I still somehow have Hendo's babies. Love that. I agree as well with Sam Beckwith. He's absolutely quality. Absolutely quality. Chris has put as well, Callum Perry is making his first step into male professional football, and he is brilliant and steps forward into midfield and attack like Beckwith. He's very, very similar, isn't he, to Sam Beckwith in that manner. Bear with me, everyone. I really, really need a drink. So this talking. Yeah, that's shocking. Dale used to produce youths like Kellyman and Dawson. Honestly, it's such a shame when you think of it, and it's not just obviously the likes of Rochdale. It's the likes of so many clubs that do get relegated into the National League, and just the toll it takes, because you think us lower league clubs, no matter whether you're in the National League or even in the EFL, if you can produce some really good talent, bigger clubs can come in for them and you can really earn quite a big pay package. Obviously, clauses as well onto that if they do get sold on again through selling that player. And sometimes selling a youth prospect can save some teams' seasons, because people are struggling financially at the minute. And it's just so sad to see that when you come into National League, that it doesn't necessarily help, does it? I hope so, Adam. I really, really hope so. Thank you, everyone, by the way, for coming into the chat. I do appreciate it. Chris has put, I love Jim McNulty and never questioned him, even when we went through a bad phase last season, but bringing in Matty Doan and Jason Taylor this season has been a masterstroke. I completely agree. I don't know if Claire is still in the chat, but I backed Jim so much last season. Some of our fans gave me so much stick as well, and I understand the reasons why, to be honest, because some of his decisions were questionable. I don't think it helped the fact he was just very, very stubborn in one aspect. Very, very stubborn. I know he lacks some experience as well, because he still is, to be fair, a fairly new manager. He's obviously was still learning as well. Especially in the big games, we really, really did self-destruct. And I thought his in-game management was very, very questionable last season. As much as I love Jim, I think he made some very poor decisions. This season, he has been so different. Obviously, we've got a better quality in the squad, haven't we? We've got more squad depth. The players that we have, I think we have a very, very good squad on paper. They all do a job. Even when there is likes of certain players out, say that Ryan East or Harvey Gilmore, when you're taking them, say for instance yesterday, Ryan East didn't play, we were resting him, but you've got someone like Casey Petit coming in. If Taryn Alarakia doesn't play, you've got someone like Joe Pritchard coming in. Even yesterday with Ebanks Landell didn't play. You've got someone like Liam Hogan coming in. Manny Desirue, and you've got like the other options coming off the bench. When he was injured as well, you've got other options there. We didn't have that last season to that extent. So I think that is obviously massive. But bringing in someone like Jason Taylor, it gets away from the fact that Jim was always labelled the nice guy in football. He was too nice. He was too polite. And someone, I don't know if any of you remember, Dale fans, Jason Taylor, when we had him on loan, but he was that dirty midfielder. He has bite about him. You can see him on the sidelines as well. He's always talking, he's always communicating, he's very feisty as well, and he has that edge and that grit about him. And I think that really, really helps Jim McNulty, and it kind of gets away from us being that nice Rochdale. As for Matty Doan, obviously, he's just quality. I love Matty Doan as well as a player. I think he's helped massively. It's people that Jim trusts, as well as Josh Lillis as well. We can't forget Josh Lillis. But Ian Henderson has been doing a lot. I know, obviously, before he started playing again, because he's had to come in more through injuries to our squad, he was helping quite a lot with the backroom staff as well. So I don't know whether he's going to try and help out where he can on the coaching, if he will. If he does take a bit of a back step as a player, whether he'll carry on coaching and helping them out, because that would be massive as well, wouldn't it? Someone like Ian Henderson joining our backroom staff. But yeah, I completely agree. And I feel like Jim McNulty bringing in those people that he does trust, he is familiar with, who obviously have been involved with the club as players. They know what it's like to play at Rochdale. They love and care for Rochdale as well. I just think that's massive. Absolutely massive. He's a backup. I can't lie, but when I saw him play, I liked him already better than a Manchit. Yes, I did as well. Manny Duku, a lot of York fans, I don't know if anybody saw this as well, a lot of York fans, when we did sign Manny Duku, they were laughing and they were like, oh, Rochdale, they've taken like a back step. Why have they got Manny Duku? But when I saw him play, not necessarily at Solihull, because I don't think he really performed that great against Solihull, but I don't think a lot of our players were really on it against Solihull. I think it was quite a boring game, wasn't it? I don't know if anybody else agrees. But when I saw Manny Duku with Devante Rodney in the Gateshead game, I thought they linked up quite well. That ball from Devante Rodney was absolutely fantastic, by the way. But you need a striker there to obviously put it away and score the goal. And I think he did a very, very good job. I do think, like you say, he will be back up. And a lot of people were giving Rochdale grief for signing him, but I never, ever judge a book by its cover. I never judge a player by what they've done previously, because I don't know if anybody else remembers Chris O'Grady. Chris O'Grady had some stick from obviously Bury fans, Oldham fans, when he was at them two clubs. He was very, very good for us. Very, very good, wasn't he? So I never, ever judge a player before I see them. So into the coaching setup. York fan here was stunned when you saw Manny do. Yeah, honestly. Like we said, though, I think it's just that other option there. If we do need it to take Desiree off, you've obviously got a tall striker there who hopefully, fingers crossed, can put the ball away, but just causes problems as well. Someone very similar, because obviously it didn't work out with Levi and Manchie. It didn't. Stockport have a prime example of what good owners can achieve. That is very, very true. He has done fantastic things there, hasn't he? Very good, very, very good things. Yes. We do need the Ian Henderson stand. We really do. Yes, I completely agree. Just rename the town. Let's not call it Rochdale anymore. We've been to Wembley twice and lost twice, so I don't want to go again. Exactly my thoughts, honestly. I am scared, but hopefully it's third time lucky, I guess. Third time lucky. I'm hoping we go up first in the playoffs. I know there's some York fans here, though. So don't do it. If the likes of Oldham and Barnet were in the National League this season, they wouldn't be in the top 7. It's a hard one, isn't it, to judge? The winners of the league are going to end up with 100 plus points. The National League has to be the hardest league to get out of. I've said this. I've been on several channels and I've always said it's been the hardest one and will forever be the hardest one to get out of. I'm hoping not, because we do not have a very good record against York. We do not have a very good record, but if it does go down to it, I'm hoping the time we finally do beat York, it is to get promotion. But as I say, we do have those games in hand. I'd rather have points on the board, but if we win them, then obviously we do have that advantage. Honestly, it is ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. No, no. I can't have this happen. I am hoping because of all the stick York fans have given me and Rochdale, Manny Dooku gets that winning goal on the final day. Imagine that. Imagine that for all that trash talk online. That would be crazy though. Oh, I really don't know. I didn't even think he was linked with Leicester, but that's true because wasn't it today they parted ways with the manager? I'm not too sure because I don't know whether it would be the right decision because I feel like with someone like Robbie Savage, it would be better for him to kind of work up the leagues and gain that experience. I know he's a massive name in football, was massive, obviously, in the aspect of he's obviously very well known in football. He'll probably have links all around if he did go to Leicester to get the players in. But I feel like sometimes it can be such a big step up where if they do gain experience from the lower leagues and work themselves up, sorry, I think I'm getting hiccups by the way, it could then potentially be better for him. But who knows? Maybe Enzo Maresca will go back. Ooh. Chris has put, I hope we have some sort of clause when Aaron Morley gets sold this month by Bolton as the likes of Wickham want in. I hope so. I really liked Aaron Morley, me, to be fair. I really, I'm not reading some of these comments, by the way. Crazy. Yes, that is true. Jim McNulty, isn't it just like a few weeks older than Jim McNulty? Because I'm pretty sure Jim McNulty's birthday is February 13th. Oh no, is it his hamstring? Oh, I'm gutted about that. Honestly, I feel like Tyler Smith cannot catch a break. I really, really like him, me. Like, don't get me wrong. When he first played games at Dale, I know he played in some of the cups. Was it the National League Cup? I'm not too sure. I think it was the National League Cup. There were times where I was like, oh, it's a bit frustrating because you can see his potential. But I just genuinely feel like he was rusty because he'd not really played that much. Obviously, he's getting back into it again. But the more he's played, I really like him. I mean, he's got 5 goals. I'm pretty sure he's got 5 goals already for us, which is really, really good. I just feel like every time he seems to be hitting some form, he cannot catch a break. And him and Henderson, as I mentioned at the start of his show, they've linked up really, really well, especially yesterday. And when I've seen Hendo and Tyler Smith, I think obviously we will miss him because it's another option, but I feel like we do have other players there. It's just such a shame because I would love a fully fit squad there that we can bring these options on. And you do have, against different opponents, you do have that different style of player. And yeah, I'm more gutted for him, to be honest. I like Tyler Smith. I really, really do. I've not seen too much of Manny Dooku, so I don't want to judge him. But what I have seen from Tyler Smith, I think he's a very, very dangerous player. I think he can be a threat for defenders as well. I think he's very, very quick, isn't he? It makes them runs as well to get behind, to get obviously and put pressure on the defenders. And as we've seen recently, he is putting the ball in the back of the net and he's getting more and more confidence as he does play. It's just such a shame that, as I said, he cannot catch a break. Hendale, yes. Hendale, it's like Emmerdale, isn't it? Oh no, Graham. Have you got Leicester next then? What a shame. What a shame. Yes, difference between us and York, besides we have the best defence, is they're clinical in front of goal. There has been games when Dale should have scored 5 or 6. Yeah, completely. And it just shows as well, I feel like tactically with York, it's like against us. When they changed the position and how Josh Stones played, he was absolutely fantastic against us. Like, easily. That first half at York, I actually personally thought we were the better team. We obviously got back into the game, and I don't know what happened at half time, but I know Maynard tweaked the formation a little bit and the tactics, and Josh Stones was absolutely excellent. And I think with Josh Stones as well, I don't think he gets enough credit. Like, Ollie Pace is absolutely fantastic. I really like Ollie Pace from a football side of it. Like, as a Rochdale fan, he frustrates me so much because he's constantly scoring and it's so annoying, obviously, because I want us to win the league. Like, obviously, York fans will think the same, probably not as much now because he's not been scoring as much, but with Manny D. But I don't think in the league Josh Stones gets enough credit. I don't know if there's any York fans in here that want to have their say. Oh, gutted. I'm absolutely gutted with that. Absolutely gutted. Luke, all right, Shah, I hope you are well. I have a question. How is Truro compared to the other sides you have played in the bottom? To be honest, Truro didn't trouble us at all yesterday. I'm pretty sure statistically, I think we had about 67% of the ball, which obviously Jim McNulty side, we do have a lot of the ball. I think Truro only actually had one chance. If I'm honest, we absolutely controlled the game. At their place, I think they made it a little bit more difficult for us. We obviously got that win, but they did make it difficult. I think yesterday, we hit the post, we hit the woodwork. We had several chances, what we should have probably scored. I don't know if anybody remembers, if there's any Dale fans in the chat, but them chances where I think it was, I know McBride was involved. I think Alarakia had a chance. No, Alarakia, there was one with Alarakia, and then pass it to Harvey Gilmore. Harvey Gilmore hit the bar. And then there was one where there was literally three chances that we should have scored. I cannot remember who was involved. I know McBride was, Henderson was, and there was someone else. And the goalkeeper, honestly, made, I think it was like 3 saves back to back. And it finally ended up with him getting hit in the face. But I think Truro, they didn't trouble us whatsoever, to be honest. Fair play to the fans that travelled from Truro, though. But they didn't trouble us whatsoever, where I think the likes of Morecambe, obviously yourselves, near the bottom, they troubled us a lot more, especially Morecambe. That game, wow, I actually thought they were going to beat us. I know, I remember that, bless him. Let's hope that we get a big crowd on Tuesday. Quite a big game for us, and it's the only game on that day and a chance to go top by a few points. The only thing is, I think Dale will bring a few. I think, obviously, I don't know if you feel the same, right, Adam, but I feel like we've been on a journey with Southend. So obviously there was that with the playoffs, which was, it still gives me PTSD to this day. And then obviously there was the first game where we travelled all that way and it got called off not that long beforehand. Was it like an hour beforehand? Because we were the televised game, wasn't we, was it 5:30 on the Zone? And then obviously we eventually got to play it. 13 minutes, and we didn't get the win. We're winning 2-1. Didn't get the win. Obviously, it was our pitch. And then obviously now we finally get to play it. And what made me laugh even more is when we get to play Southend at their place, even that has been postponed now, hasn't it? Because they are in the FA Trophy. I feel like our journey with Southend this season is just so frustrating, and I feel like people have to be there now to complete this journey. But yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it will be a big crowd because be a big game. I'm not too sure from a Southend aspect because those travelling fans, I don't know if they'll want to make the journey again, especially 3 times for some. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, there will be quite a few Dale fans there or just people supporting a Dale. Oh, stop. If that happens, I love Hendo anyway, but if that happens, that would just be perfect. Honestly, that would just be a magical moment in football. That moment would literally be on par with, bless him, God rest his soul, Joey Thompson when he scored that goal. Obviously to send Oldham down and to secure our League One status. I know Graham will know that one well because it was against Charlton, but that was just incredible scenes and everything that Joey Thompson went through as well. Just for him to have that magical moment, that would be another one of those magical moments as a Rochdale fan if that did happen. Yes, that is true. That is true. I've not had a pie for a few weeks. You'll be good to know. I'm on a diet at the minute. I say that, as I said, about having my Snickers. But yeah, I've not actually had one. Against us. Yeah, that is true. That is really, really true. Yeah, same. I said exactly the same to Luke as well on Monday on the Absolute Football podcast. I actually thought Gateshead didn't perform that bad, especially that second half. Rob Elliott's obviously back as well, and we know what Rob Elliott can do with this Gateshead side. But yeah, I think they did trouble us, especially like I said, that second half. Barlow, of course it was. Of course it was, yes. I was thinking for ages. I was like, who was it? Who was it? So thank you so much. It was Barlow. Yeah, Alaraki. He's our international superstar. He played at AFCON. I'll have you know, Graham. Taryn Alarakia. Let's go through comments. Yes. So the game yesterday, as I mentioned, I thought we absolutely controlled it against Truro. Don't get me wrong, we could have possibly scored a lot more. On paper, it was one of them. I don't know if any Dale fans in the chat were the same, but going into that game, scoring so early and seeing the notifications, obviously, of the York game coming through and their goals, I thought it could be a perfect opportunity to get a few more goals under our belt. Obviously, very, very good defensively, as per usual, but it would have been nice to get a few more goals just to kind of boost our goal difference up a little bit with York just being absolutely clinical and prolific in front of goal. Obviously, it wasn't the case. We did have opportunities, we did have chances, but I thought it was a very, very good, controlled, professional performance yet again under Jim McNulty. I really, really do. I felt like we didn't have to get out of second gear yet again. And that's happened quite a few times, hasn't it, this season? We've not had to really turn it up. And we didn't against Truro yesterday. Yes. Quite funny that we kicked off and Truro player had one touch before we scored after 3 minutes. How good was the passing and the build-up play for that first goal as well? I thought it was so, so good. And it's a perfect example when people say, what, you actually play possession-based football and good football in the National League. That was another prime example that National League teams can play good football and they can use that build-up play. So yeah, that was really, really funny. I completely agree. The team, obviously yesterday, I don't know if anybody else felt the same, but I thought, to be fair, after the Solihull Moors game, obviously got so many games back and forth, Tuesday, Saturday, then we've obviously got a Wednesday game, Saturday again and stuff. I thought Jim would make changes. Only 6 starters yesterday that did start in the game against Solihull. Obviously, Ollie Watmore, Kyron Gordon, who was our captain as well. Somebody I'm very, very, very pleased with. I think Kyron Gordon is so consistent, and I think he's so underrated as well in the National League. People talk about Sam Beckwith, and I think Sam Beckwith is absolutely fantastic. And Sam Beckwith does get a lot of credit from other football fans as well in the National League. I don't think Kyron Gordon really gets that status and that much credit compared to other defenders in the league. So I wanted to give him a massive, massive shout out because he has been so, so consistent. Obviously, he did pull up at the end. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it was just aches. It was just him obviously cramping up because I do not want to lose Kyron Gordon as well from our defence. But yeah, another starter, obviously Alarakia, Harvey Gilmore, Adebayo Rowling, and Callum Perry. They were the 6 players that started. Obviously, a little bit of a chop and change. Liam Hogan came in, and I know a lot of Rochdale fans, when they saw the team news, was extremely worried about, obviously. I know. I'm begging too. I am begging. If you do see this, please, please, please sign that contract. But yeah, Liam Hogan did start, and I know a lot of our fans were a bit like, oh no, where's Ebanks? Why is Hogan starting? But at the end of the day, similar to last season when Liam Hogan was starting, Liam Hogan was starting consistently. Ebanks Landell came back into that team after his injury, and a lot of people were on his case. And I feel like with Liam Hogan, we have to give him the chance. Obviously, we need to give Ebanks Landell a break as well. I know he's been solid this season, but the only way Liam Hogan is going to be solid is if he gets the minutes. And I feel like Liam Hogan deserves a chance. And I thought he played very, very well. I know he didn't have that much to do defensively because Truro didn't really trouble us, and they only had that one shot. But passing the ball out and just the things that Liam Hogan does, I think he did absolutely brilliantly yesterday. And I just wanted to show some appreciation to him because I think he does get a lot of grief, to be fair, Liam Hogan. And it's just from when, obviously, the fact Ebanks Landell is performing really well, you have to be on Liam Hogan's case and vice versa. I remember it last season the other way around, and we shouldn't be doing that, to be honest. We really shouldn't. And it was nice to see Liam Hogan obviously play. Petit. Can we just talk as well, Dale fans, about Casey Petit? Because every time I have seen this guy play, he has been absolutely brilliant, and he offers that something different in midfield. He's such a protector of that line as well, that back line. Obviously, him and Harvey Gilmore we saw play together against Gateshead for a little bit when they pushed Ryan East further up front before Easty obviously got his goal against Gateshead. Sorry, Luke, if you are in the chat. But yesterday we obviously saw Harvey Gilmore and Casey Petit again. And I just wanted to talk about Casey Petit because he's not really had his opportunity yet. And it's by no fault of his own because Harvey Gilmore and Ryan East in that midfield have been absolutely brilliant. They have for seasons now, haven't they? Like last season, they were the same. And obviously the season before, Ryan East and Harvey Gilmore are just Rochdale's midfield. And it's just nice to see other people as well that we can rely on because it got to a point last season. Ryan East obviously got injured with the backlog of games. And then it was just so frustrating, wasn't it? Because I felt like then we really, really did miss him. But it's just so, so nice. Yes, this is exactly my point. Because Casey Petit, honestly, every time I've seen him, I've been like, I feel so sorry for him because it's just the fact that partnership is so, so good with Easty and Harvey. But it is really good in one aspect, having obviously the likes of, you've got Casey Petit, you've got Conor McBride, you've got Jake Berger, obviously Liam Humbles as well. He's gone out on loan to Altrincham. But you have got people and you've got other options. So I think that's vital to obviously have in the squad depth that we have, and just the quality of midfielders as well. Yeah, honestly, Eastie is my favourite player. And Harvey Gilmore, I don't know if anybody else agrees, but he has been one of my players of the season so far, Harvey Gilmore. He's just such a workhorse, isn't he? Like, week in, week out, and that tells by how many man of the matches he has as well this season. Definitely. But yeah, obviously, it was a lot of changes yesterday. One name all Dale fans did love seeing on that squad list, Manny Dizarue was back on the bench, and it was so nice seeing him back on the bench, because honestly, I have missed him. I have missed him so much. And people who aren't familiar with the National League, Manny Dizarue, he's a goal scorer, isn't he, in this league? Like, put Manny Dizarue in any team. He did it at Hartlepool. He did it for Salford as well, when obviously Salford were in the National League. He is a goal scorer at this level, but he's so much more than a goal scorer. Like, just his play in general, the way he holds up the ball, the way obviously he tracks back, he is absolutely brilliant and vital to have. And his experience, I think, is absolutely massive. And it's so nice to have him back, obviously, before the Southend game. I think he will start personally against Southend, Manny Dizarue. But yeah, I've really missed him. And it was really nice as well that we could give Devante Rodney a break, because he's another player where I don't think he's appreciated enough. A lot of people see him as a goal scorer, Devante Rodney, and just see him as his goals if you're not a Rochdale fan, but he does so much more. Like, his strength, his ability, it's so cool and composed. Like, the way he drives forward, again, the way he holds up the ball, his physicality. I just think he's absolutely outstanding, Devante Rodney. And yeah, them two together, I think, are vital. And I don't know if Dale fans in the chat going on to the Southend game agree with this, but my starting 11, who I'm predicting to obviously start on Tuesday. I've got it here on my notes, by the way, guys. I'm prepared for once. I'm prepared. No, I agree with that. 100% Devante Rodney. He's such a workhorse as well, Devante Rodney, isn't he? But yeah, my starting 11 prediction for, I'd be interested to know if there's any Dale fans in here who obviously want to send in their predicted starting 11. But obviously, Watmuth will be in there. Kyron Gordon, obviously starter. Ebanks Landell will be in the centre of that defence. Perry, obviously there on the left. And then I'm going to go for Toby on the right as usual. But I'm torn. I don't know if he'll go for Taryn or he will go for Pritch, because obviously Pritch was rested yesterday, wasn't he? Taryn has obviously been playing. I'm torn whether they will play Taryn, Alarakia or Joe Pritchard on that left-hand side. I think the midfield will be back to Harvey Gilmore and Ryan East. Eastie obviously did get a full rest yesterday. He didn't even come on as a sub, did he, Ryan East? So he got a full rest. And then I think, obviously, on the left-hand side, it'll be Devante Rodney. I think Emmanuel Dizarue will be, obviously, the centre-forward in the middle. And I'm not too sure whether it'll be Barlow or McBride. I personally think he will go with Conor McBride, to be honest, who was on the bench yesterday. He had to come on slightly earlier due to Tyler Smith's injury. But I personally think it will be Conor McBride. And I think Adi Barlow, I really like Adi Barlow. He's obviously not scored as many goals this season. He's very technically gifted, Adi Barlow, a very intelligent player, and he drives the ball forward, doesn't he? He's just got an eye for driving the ball forward and the attacking sense of football. But I personally think he'll go with Conor McBride, because I think Conor McBride brings in that little bit of physicality. He can hold his own, doesn't get pushed off the ball too easily, and he has that little bit of feist about him. And I feel like we need that against Southend, because I know in the chat before, Dino said yesterday they didn't defend very well. But Southend, personally, I think are very, very good defensively. They've got some big lads as well, haven't they, at the back? And I think we probably need that more physicality with Conor McBride than AD Barlow. But that is me personally. Who thinks that? Yeah. Yeah, I just think with Pritchard, I love Taryn Alaraki. He's one of my favourites. And obviously, going forward, I really like Taryn. I just think sometimes it lacks that little bit defensively, Taryn. And I think Pritchard is more of a protection defensively, and especially against the likes of Southend, who, as I mentioned, I don't want to say really, really physical, but they have got that little bit of physicality about them, and the way they do play, I think he would be a little bit more well suited than Taryn, to be honest. And yeah, McBride. Oh, very similar, very similar. So Danny has gone for Watmouth Gordon, Ebanks, Perry Pritch, Taryn Alarakia, Gilmore East, Rodney Barlow, Hendo, Manny D gets the full second half. Good shout, to be honest. Very good shout. But yeah, from a Southend point of view. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who has come in and supported, by the way. I do really, really appreciate it. But yes, Southend. I do think, as we've seen previously in previous games with Southend, it is going to be a very, very big test against a strong side in the National League. They are just sitting outside the playoffs, but we have seen what they are capable of, especially under Kevin Mayer. Even when they had struggles previously, under Kevin Mayer, they have really, really flourished. And I feel like the back end of the season is when Southend do seem to pick up, don't they? They've obviously had their injury troubles as well. I'm not too sure if he's back or not, but I know, who was it against? Was it against York? One of the games, anyway, not that long ago, Harry Cardwell scored, who obviously we've seen he did play at the Crown Oil Arena in the game that did get called off. He went off injured. I'm not too sure whether he's back. That'll be a big loss for them, because obviously he scores goals. They have Slavis Spazafo, who obviously, if you're not familiar with him, he came from Slough last season. He was scoring goals for fun for Slough, and he scored a few goals this season as well for Southend. And I think obviously he'll be a threat. Gus Scott Morris. I do not know how he's still in the National League, Gus Scott Morris, because he's one player I really, really rate in this National League. I mean, the goals he scores, the opportunities he creates, he's such a good player. But we've got the likes of him as well. Cardwell. I've just missed a comment. Sorry, Danny. Bear with me. Yeah, it was York. Yes. I thought it was York, but I think he's a really good player, Cardwell. Obviously, it's not nice to see him be injured, but at least that takes the option of him coming playing at Dale away, because he's one player that I really do think is really, really good, and I think he could really trouble us. Yeah, so in the game, Dale were obviously winning. We're in the game that did get suspended due to a waterlogged pitch. It was Taryn and East that did score for the Dale. And it was crazy, that game, wasn't it? Sam Beckwith got injured that game as well, which was really, really sad. He really did. But I just think the whole style matchup and the way, obviously, the teams play. So Southend, they're very organised, dangerous on set pieces as well. So that is one thing we will have to watch. I know we have been very, very good defensively, but set pieces wise, Southend are very, very dangerous. They like to put pressure as well on obviously the players. And I know in that the game where it did get suspended, I think it was one of Broom's first games, if not the first game we had him in goal. And I'm pretty sure, even though it was a very, very good goal from Southend, I think it was Coker who scored, wasn't it? I think it was Coker who scored the goal. Southend did put pressure on us, and there were times where we were very, very sloppy. And Southend obviously do like doing that, and we saw it obviously in that playoff game as well last season. I know it's different players, but Southend do like to put the pressure on, and it can cause obviously the other teams to make mistakes. So that's one thing we really, really, really do need to kind of rein in, because I think that could be really, really troublesome, to be honest. And then I'm just trying to say, yeah, be very, very, like I said, be very, very strong, especially on corners and set pieces, Southend. Everybody knows with Rochdale, we like passing out from the back. We'll get our goalkeeper involved, Ollie Watmoth, who I haven't spoke about, to be honest, but he's been absolutely brilliant as well all season. And since he's come back from injury, I've seen a whole new side to Ollie Watmoth where I feel like I don't want to say it in a bad way, but I feel like he's so comfortable and he's becoming a little bit of people say shithouse and a bit of shithousery and stuff. And he's kind of really good at holding his own and stuff as well, Ollie Watmoth. He's not scared, is he, for a young lad? And I love that about him. He's got that little bit of arrogance and cockiness about him, which I really, really rate. Obviously, other teams won't like it, but because he's playing for Rochdale, I think it's really, really good. Obviously, as Chris has said in the chat, 3 clean sheets. And I'm pretty sure Dale actually tweeted this season, we do have 15 clean sheets, don't we, Rochdale? Which I think is absolutely brilliant, honestly, compared to previous seasons where we have self-destructed when it's come to our defence. We have been absolutely brilliant, haven't we, defensively? But yeah, I feel like with us, we do the right things. Obviously, we've got the players there. I just feel like we do have to be that little bit more switched on and that little bit sharper so we don't make those mistakes, because it is a game in hand, and really, we cannot afford to drop points, especially when you've got York, who are just so clinical and are constantly winning games. So, yeah. One thing I did want to ask, obviously, if there's any more questions about Rochdale, please, please, please send them in. But I just wanted to ask, obviously, if you do want to do them, you don't have to be a Rochdale fan, but what are your score predictions for the game on Tuesday? Because honestly, I am absolutely torn. I'm absolutely torn. I'm hoping we get the win, but I can just see it now. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, by the way, everyone. I'm so positive when it comes to football. I'm so positive on my mindset, but I've just got it in my head that because those 13 minutes we didn't get the result, we were winning. It will come back to haunt us, and it'll be difficult, won't it, if that happens? But Chris in the chat has put, yes, 15 clean sheets in 25 games. Well, we have only conceded 16 goals and 4 of them were away to York. That is so true. So true. Rochdale 3, Southend 1. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. Just going to have a drink, by the way, everyone. Sorry. We keep playing teams who have drawn 3-3 in their previous games and beating them to 0. Same again, nervy 1-0. Oh, I hate 1-0s. I think the only thing that'll help me out if it's a 1-0 is if it's a very, very late 1-0 again, like the Pritch goal the other day. And I'm intrigued to know, everyone. Cross or was it a shot? Cross or shot? Hart says 2-0 Dale. Heady saying 1-1. Oh, Graham, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I'm hoping that's not the case. I really, really, really want to win. Like, I want to win the games anyway, but just with everything that happened the last game when we were winning, and just how it ended. And the Southend fans as well. Like, there's been so many, I know it's only banter as well. There's been so many Southend fans tweeting me, and obviously tweeting Dale fans as well, saying how much they're going to tear us apart, how confident they are that they're going to beat us. So I'm just hoping, I'm praying they are so wrong and we can get the win. But it's going to be an extremely tough game because Southend are a very, very good team. Like I said, I know they are just out of the playoffs at the minute. They've still got games in hand too, though, haven't they? But Kevin Mayer and the way he sets up Southend, they are very, very hard to beat, to be honest. But just before, obviously, we close out, does anybody else have any score predictions, or does anybody else have any questions that they do want to ask about Dale? And I just wanted to let you all know as well, this will be a constant segment to my channel where after a game, we will obviously talk about everything that's happened. We will preview the next games as well. If there's any questions or anything anybody wants to get off their chest, they are more than welcome to come on, but it will be obviously a regular show that does appear about all things Rochdale. Because as you all know, I could talk about Rochdale forever. Like, I love them. I love them. I'll just give it a couple of minutes to see if anybody does have any other questions they want to ask. But, well, obviously, I do wait for that. Just wanted to let you all know that I may, hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow be going on the non-league show. I will not be hosting it on the Absolute Football podcast tomorrow because I've just got a couple of things on. But I'm hopefully going to make an appearance. And if anybody isn't familiar with the Absolute Football podcast, where have you been, by the way? Because the Absolute Football podcast, we have 4 live shows a week. Obviously, on a Monday, we talk all things non-league, and it is in collaboration with the amazing NL Fulltime. We cover National League North, National League South. On a Tuesday, Sam and obviously the amazing Premier League team talk all things Premier League. And I think Sam will be very, very happy this week because not only did they beat City last week, but they've managed to beat Arsenal, Manchester United this week with a very, very late Cunha goal, wasn't it? So we'll have a very, very happy Sam. On a Wednesday is all things women's football. They cover WSL, WSL2, and any other women's football. I know they talk a lot of women's football, so check that out. And then obviously on a Thursday, it is the EFL show where we cover EFL Championship, League One, League Two. Obviously, I usually host that. I won't be hosting it this week, but I will be back from the 2nd of February that week hosting my regular shows, as well as obviously doing content on this, my Rochdale show, watch-alongs. If anybody else has any other suggestions for football content or just content in general, please, please, please let me know because I love to please all of you lot. I really, really do. But yeah, all of them shows were obviously on at 8:30 over on the Absolute Football podcast. And if you haven't already, definitely do subscribe because a lot of content goes out, whether it's club episodes, it can be interviews. There's a Women in Football series as well with Her Game Too, which is obviously absolutely incredible. And it's a real eye-opener to how some women have been obviously treated when they've been involved in football from all different roles of football too. So, yeah. Yes. Let's have a look if there's anything else in the chat before we do. Ben has honestly been absolutely amazing hosting that show. He's been fantastic, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be doing a lot more hosting as well with me because he has a lot of knowledge on National League South in particular. So me and Ben will be doing co-host duties together. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if anybody saw me come on last week, but I actually enjoyed sitting back and relaxing and not having to host and just do the talking because everyone knows I'm a good talker. But yeah, Oh, no way. So Chris has put Dale only have scored 47 goals and conceded 16. Southend scored 43 and conceded 23. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm really, really nervous. Really nervous. But yeah. Oh, Renz, how are you? I hope you're okay, by the way. And I hope you have had a really, really good weekend. All football aside, though, we will not get involved with that. This is all things Rochdale. We will not mention a certain Liverpool. But thank you for coming in supporting, by the way. But yes, I will close out now. I'm so sorry. I will close out now, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so, so much to each and every person that has supported me, whether it's been my old content, whether it's been with everything going on recently, because I've had a lot going on in life. Obviously losing my dad as well, but you've all been so, so supportive with that. And then obviously sorting this channel, because I actually got asked when the channel was going to be made, and I thought, I think I'm going to leave it till like March and April and just have a little bit of time getting back into streaming. But I have caught the bug for it. I really have again. So thank you to each and every person that has made me fall back in love with streaming and obviously chatting to you all. It is much appreciated. And if I can find it, my graphic. So if you do want to follow me on the socials, I am Ball and All with Shah. We do not just cover football, but the football that we do cover is from the Premier League right down to National League North and South. We will be doing some FPL segments as well, because I am that bad at it. People are so invested and they like to laugh at me. So yes, we will be doing some FPL segments, and then obviously other content about life as well. So if anybody has got anything on their mind, if they do want to chat, they are more than welcome to come on here and just air anything out they want. I do it, don't I? But yes, if you do want to follow Ball and All with Shah on the socials, it is Ball and All with Shah on YouTube, Ball and All _ on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you do want to follow my personal accounts as well, where I pretty much talk all things Rochdale, like you have got tonight, I am Shah X RAFC. That is on Instagram, it's on X, and it is on TikTok. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so, so much again to each and every person for tuning in tonight, because it has been all things Rochdale, but there's been so many other football fans coming in, listening, and just joining in the chat. So thank you so, so much. And I appreciate all your kind comments. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Neil, as well. But yeah, hope you all have a lovely Sunday evening. And up the Dale. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it is a win against Southend. But thank you so, so much, everyone. And have a lovely week.